Try. Okay. Ooh, that's loud. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Growing up with the survival parents, they just couldn't offer me some of the tools that I needed to thrive. And it was very challenging, but God placed people in my life along the way that was able to guide me and help cultivate my mind to let me know that there is a different way to live. I grew up in the inner city of East Baltimore. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but it's a lot of crime. They made a show about it on The Wire, and a lot of that stuff was true. So just to paint the picture of what the environment was like. And I didn't want to be a product of my environment. You know, I did make some bad decisions, and I had a dark period in my life. I was a teen mom. I had my daughter at 17, and I kind of felt hopeless. But then I had a cousin who went to the military, and he was like, girl, you can still, do something with yourself. You can go to college, you can get your own place, you can get benefits. So I decided to join the military. And in the military, in the beginning, I had a hard time because I still had a lot of that Baltimore City inside of me. And I wasn't ready to go to a place with so much structure. So, but God kept placing leaders in my life that took the time to help mentor me, teach me that, hey, about the authority thing. In Baltimore, people don't respect authority. They're like their own police there. They do like the street justice type of thing. So I had to learn about authority and just different things along the way. And I realized that God was giving me a different mentor for each season in my life. It wasn't, my parents weren't married, so I got married. I was like, I can't look at what they modeled. They was doing a lot of fighting, fussing, and cussing. And I didn't want that for myself. But God kept placing other married people along the journey to help give us guidance and wisdom along the way. And I just thank God for that. I had another mentor for finances. My parents didn't teach me. There's no manual with being a parent. So I think they did the best they could, but they couldn't teach me how to thrive. And that's what I desired. So I just said, I need a marriage mentor, a finance mentor, a spiritual mentor, I need a professional mentor. And God kept blessing me. So I just said all that to say that God's timing, when people align different people in your life to help you along the journey. And even though you might have a rough start, God will make sure you have a good finish.